My name is Eddie Tofpick. I'm Head of Technical Analysis and Senior Markets Analyst at ADM Investor Services International Limited. Here are your daily technicals for Thursday, the 25th of February 2021. The first chart to look at is Euro against the dollar. A second consecutive indecisive doji cross yesterday as the market continues to be caught on a closing basis in the previously highlighted congestion combination made up of the flatlining short medium moving average currently at 121.55 and the key March 2018 low at 128.52. Superficially, that might be what is going on. However, I still suspect the neckline of the possible reverse head and shoulders formation, that's currently at 121.63, constructed over this year so far, may have a significant impact as well. Beyond this, on the upside, we have the next overhead resistance at the April low at 122.12. Overall, there's a lot going on here. The descending wedge pattern is still live with a potential upside target X in the 123.48 area. We might also have a preliminary target X2 in the 122.95 area for the possible reverse head and shoulders pattern, though this is by no means certain as yet. So far today, a really interesting break higher over the neckline and moving now over the resistance at 122.12. The next chart to look at is cable, aka sterling against the US dollar. A fifth bullish white soldier yesterday and continued to follow on higher from the recent bullish engulfing pattern. We have now another new high and high close not seen since April 2018. Ultimately, this has all been a follow-on higher from the break upwards last week over the dynamic capping resistance, now support, of the middle time, currently at 138.92 of the important late June to late September 2020 bullish shift pitchfork. This pitchfork has shown the bullish angle of attack of the market since November last year. Meanwhile, overhead, we have limited strands of resistance with perhaps the March 2018 high at 142.43 and the April 2018 high at 143.83, the most significant nearby. So far today, nothing. Holding steady around yesterday's close. Next is Euro Sterling. A possible bull hammer yesterday as the market dropped down almost all the way to potential target X2 for the head and shoulders top in the 85.15 area before running back up again. We still have targets X2 and target X1, the target for the recent sideways triangle. They are both still live, though a seemingly impressive possible bull hammer action may signal an end to this. Let's wait and see. So far today, a further pullback up. Looking right now as we may have a bullish engulfing pattern in the offing. US dollar against the Indian rupee. An indecisive doji cross yesterday. It seems the proximity and eroding effects of support at and below the market from the September 2019 high at 72.41, the November 2019 high at 72.24, and the January 2020 high at 72.30, and finally the February 2020 high at 72.05, have all started to impact the recent bearish incentive and cause to have some second thoughts. So far today, a pullback up over the September 2019 high, but not really approaching the overhead descending resistances of short moving average currently at 72.69 and the early November 2020 to date downtrend currently at 72.81. US dollar against the Brazilian real. A third bearish black crow yesterday, and we're back down into the maelstrom of questionable support congestion consisting of the recent 50% Fibonacci line at 540.85, the 50% Fibonacci line of the May to June 2020 move at 539.29, plus the medium moving average at currently 537.52 and the long moving average currently at 536.26. You can now add to that the mid-January to date uptrend currently at 538.31 that makes up the possible 2020 ascending triangle pattern I have spoken about in recent days. Just in case, the top side is made up from the combination of the January 2021 high at 551.59, the mid-November 2020 high at 552.57, and the lesser Fibonacci level at 552.91. It is too early to start naming any potential targets, top side or below, but keep an eye on this idea. US dollar against the Mexican peso. Second bearish black crow yesterday, and a suitable follow-on lower from the previous session's combined bearish dark cloud cover pattern and possible bearish double. We're now approaching the next support, the gently declining medium moving average, currently at 20.2677, and nearby the very recent 50% Fibonacci line at 20.18 3/4. This may cause a slowdown in the decline. So far today, no follow-on lower, the opposite in fact. We've pulled up to the congestion at 20.62, 20.62 and moved over it. Just bear in mind we have the descending long moving average at 21.1973, soon to be entering the frame from above. ICE Brent crude oil futures. After a quite impressive bullish engulfing pattern on Monday, yesterday we had another major piece of action. It was a combined bullish engulfing pattern and bullish long white Maribozo. This was the first close up over the key April 2019 to date downtrend, currently at 65.61. Now this downtrend has capped the market since last week and also this week on a closing basis. Beyond this downtrend, we seem to have fairly free territory until we start looking at the 2020 high at 71.75. So far today, a higher opening and a new high, but it's not as impressive as the other actions this week, at least so far. ICE gas oil futures. Another bullish engulfing pattern yesterday, the second this week, though to be honest, neither of them were that hard to do as they both came after indecisive spinning tops. Nevertheless, it is another new high and high close, one not seen since January 2020. The next seemingly significant overhead resistance of note is the 50% Fibonacci line of the venerable June 2014 to April 2020 move at 5.62 3/4. Now this 50% Fibonacci line is also the gateway to some congestion resistance between 562.75 and 596.5. That dates from September to December 2019. So far today, a higher open, the highest you could do before causing a gap. However, not that much action on the upside so far. We're in fairly free territory now, ahead of that 50% Fibonacci line at 562 3/4. UK FTSE futures. A second bullish white soldier yesterday and the highest move this week. The base of the day's action was once more on the June 2020 high at 65.12. Overhead, we now have the 2021 downtrend currently at 67.07, whilst below we still have the support on a closing basis from the short stroke medium moving average currently at 65.73. Finally, and contrary to this recent seemingly hidden bullish tendency, there's a hint, just a hint, that we may have a head and shoulders top type action building up from November 2020 to date. No more than that right now, but moving up as we have done doesn't help this scenario. So far today, a higher open, the highest you can make without gapping, but not much of a further move upwards, as prices seem wary of the downtrend. German DAX futures. A bullish white soldier yesterday, supported as it was on the lows by the rising short stroke medium moving average, currently 13.772, and finding the dip in the previous session and also closed below the neckline, currently 13.875, of the important rising neckline of the ragged late September 2020 to date reverse head and shoulders pattern, a little bit unpalatable. Topside, we still have the cap formed 2 weeks ago at 14.185, whilst below we have the slowly rising medium moving average, currently 13.345. So far today, a higher open, a gapping higher open indeed, but prices have since dropped back and filled the small gap, leaving us hanging around yesterday's close right now. US E-mini S&P futures. Another interesting day's action yesterday, a fairly obvious engulfing pattern after the previous session's indecisive doji cross. However, it may also be part of something else. The last 3 days could be seen as a possible bullish morning doji star pattern. though it's not ideally suited to be one, but hey ho, if the shoe fits, wear it. Overall, we are still in between the middle time below, currently at 38.84, and the upper time above, currently at 440.01, of the late December 2020, early February 2021 bullish Andrews pitchfork. So far today, just hanging around the close, a little bit lower than that, and some small congestion from last week in the 39.28 area. French CAC 40 futures. A combined bullish opening, white Mariposa and bullish engulfing pattern yesterday. Not that surprising, as the previous session was an indecisive doji cross. However, what was interesting was how we made a new recent high, the highest since February 2020, and how we closed right on the one consistent feature here since November last year, the previously off highlighted overhead bull channel, upper bull channel line, currently at 57.96, the big May 2020 to date broken bull channel line. Bull channel. This line has been capping the rise since last November. Overall, we're still in between the overhead middle time, currently at 59.06, and the lower time below, currently at 56.25, of December 2020 to January 2021 bullish Andrews pitchfork. So far today, a gapping higher open, but then a drop down to fill the gap, halting at the upper bull channel line, but on the top side of it, and so far not making it down to the previous close as yet. One thing I think I should point out now, overhead we have a gap left over between 59.20 and 60.09, dating from February 2020. LME 3-month copper. Yet one more bullish white soldier yesterday, the 14th in a row now, though some of those were only just, as they resembled indecisive spinning tops more than anything else. Ultimately, it was a continuation higher from the recent rare bullish roof pattern, sometimes called a half diamond pattern. We've not seen such highs since August 2011. Looking back there, we're in fairly free territory here, bar some congestions, until the US dollar 10,000 level. So it pays to watch those congestions at 91.60, 93.05 and 96.05, which is why yesterday's move up over the 93.05 congestion was so important. So far today, a further attempt higher, this time with what looks like right now like a bullish opening white Mariposa. I'm sure the bulls out there are hoping this doesn't turn into a bearish shooting star pattern by the end of the day. LME 3-month aluminium. An immediate countering bullish engulfing pattern yesterday, but only just. It was nevertheless a new high, one not seen since October 2018. It is now that I should acquaint you with something. A little above, currently at 22.95, is the shallow middle time of the big old 2011-2015 bullish shift pitchfork. This is a big one, so watch out as we get nearer. So far today, another move higher, closer to the October 2018 high at 22.67, and also the previously mentioned middle time. Right now, today, we're looking like a bullish opening white Mariposa, however moving much lower and also closing low tonight, and we may have a bearish shooting star pattern. So just watch carefully. Thank you for listening. This short version broadcast gives essential market patterns and consequences. Please be aware of the risk disclaimer posted with this broadcast. And here is the final bit.